All right, hello and welcome back everybody. Abby here. So I'm going to take you through your thought of the week this week. I'm really excited about this one. Today we're going to talk about lengthening and decompressing the spine. Okay, so what does that mean? When we get sort of stuck in these holding patterns, and yours is probably going to look something like this, as we might guess, right? We get kind of like short and stuck in the position and locked in our spine. So I'm going to talk you through some ways that you can find some space between those vertebrae today, and we'll move through those spaces a little bit. So we'll start standing on the mat. And then just sit up with your feet about 2 or 3 inches apart in parallel position. I'm gonna have you take the hands at the base of your skull today. And then from here, make sure those elbows are wrapped a little bit forward where you can see them. Close your eyes. And I want you to take a big inhale. And as you do that, think about sort of pulling your head up and lifting it off of your spine. You could ever so slightly do that with the support of your hands. And then keep all that length, and with your exhale, start to narrow the front ribs in towards each other, hug the navel in, and continue that sensation of length. We'll go again when you breathe in. This time root the heels down in opposition to lifting the head up, and can you grow even a little taller? As you exhale, keep all of that length, zip that navel in towards the lower back. One more time, take that nice deep breath in. Feel the opposition of head and heels reaching away from each other, and you should feel longer already. And then exhale, you keep that length, you just hug in and feel the abdominal support. All right, from there, slowly you're gonna nod and curl. Let that chin fall towards the chest. Once it's there, release the hands to the floor. We're gonna take this into a roll down. Your goal is to keep that head so relaxed that you can really go bone by bone by bone to touch those toes, in quotation marks, touch as far down as feels comfortable in that forward fold. Now bend your knees so you're not locking through the joints. As you exhale next, you're gonna hug that belly button up and in, roll yourself up to standing, and then your goal is to go right back to that lengthening once you get up to the top, right? So heels down, head up. Feel your length without the support of the hands, and then let's go down one more time, chin to chest. So in this forward fold, notice the difference between this feeling of like lifting up as you roll forward versus just collapsing and being super floppy. So when you take it up, again, I want you to think about lifting and starting to feel those oppositional points, heels down, head up. So much of finding this length can really come from our imagery that we're thinking about as we move. So we'll stay up at the top on this one and take the hands at the base of the skull again, wrapping the elbows forward. We're gonna take a couple of heel raises, and you can again use these heel raises to help you with your length. So think pulling the head up as you lift the heels up, and it's like your head stays still as your heels come down. And then just notice how much abdominal support is actually needed to stay balanced in this heel raise. All right, so we'll go 2 more times. And then we're gonna hold at the top on this next one, and we're gonna challenge this length we've created. So see if you can keep the heels off the floor, bring that chin toward the chest. You're gonna reach those hands to the mat, and then lifting the belly button up as you take it into that forward fold, bone by bone by bone. This is where things get really exciting, let's say. All right, once you're in that forward fold, walk the hands forward, and we'll take it to a downward facing dog, and we'll feel some length through the spine here. So bend your knees as much as you need to, and find that opposition again. Tailbone and crown of head are reaching away from each other. Take a nice big inhale, and then with your exhale, lengthen the legs, lift the heels, and I want you to ripple forward into a plank position. Hold in your plank and notice if you are gripping, stuck, locked, anything that sort of makes you feel bound. See if you can find a little bit of that north-south length from the crown of the head through the heels here. And then pike those hips up and back, reestablish that long, nice diagonal line. We'll go again, heels up, ripple forward. Think about that north-south length, creating space as you inhale. And then pike those hips up and back, exhale. We'll go again. 2 more times. And your goal is to focus on creating that feeling of space between the vertebra in both directions. All right, from here, you're gonna slowly lower down all the way onto your chest. We're gonna flip it around and meet in getting ready for a bridge. Okay, so we'll take some of that same thought process to our bridging, arms by your sides, feet in parallel. Do a pelvic tilt here so that the pubic bone goes up, lower back pushes into the mat. And again, moving bone by bone by bone, we're gonna lift those hips away from the floor. Bone by bone by bone, we lower right back down. And see if you can use this idea of the knees and the crown of the head reaching away from each other as you roll yourself up and as you roll down, so that you're continually finding even more of that space and the length through the spine. So again, that's the imagery, and it can really help you to tap into that. Otherwise, you might end up still in those like more sticky or bound positions, and that's good for strength building, right? But now we also want to find length within that strength building. So just taking it a little further. Hold at the top on this next one. We'll go back to those heel raises that we did standing, still working on that north-south length. If you want to try to challenge this a little bit today, you're going to scooch those arms overhead and continue with the heel raises here. And if the palms don't touch the mat behind you, feel free to keep them up towards the ceiling and you can focus on that length there. All right, we'll go one more time. Lift the heels up and hold there. Take little pulses up at the top, and can this be more about increasing the length to help you feel more hollow through the abs, more activated through the glutes, and longer through that spine, or more supported through that spine through all those cues. 3 more, 2 more, and then lower it all the way down on 1. We'll keep your butt down and we'll take the arms overhead. We're gonna try a roll up here. So bring those arms up towards the ceiling, nod and curl, bring the chin to the chest, using the hands as you need to, roll yourself all the way up, and then we'll roll yourself right back down. So I'm trying to challenge this with my knees bent today. If you want to take those legs straight, that's a perfectly challenging option. And I want you to see if you can use everything we worked on before from that forward fold standing and apply it here. So that there's this feeling of lengthening from the fingertips to the toes as you come up. You feel that length through your spine at the top and you lower right back down. Let's just do that one more time. And then we're gonna challenge this up at the top. So hold the C-curve shape. See if you can bring 1 and then 2 legs to tabletop. And we're gonna hold the hands behind your thighs. Extending the arms, feeling that long length from tail to crown of head. Can you do a nice slow roll down, bringing the legs to tabletop, bringing the head to the floor, and then roll up, chin to chest, push the hands into the thighs, and bring yourself back to that nice tall spine. Okay, so we'll do 2 more just like that. Feeling again that length that you're creating from the head to the tail. And then here's our final one. We're gonna hold it up at the top, and then just see if you can balance on your sits bones. We'll keep those legs bent, arms forward, but feeling all of this length that we've created. Let's bring that right arm up. Can you bring your left arm up to join you? Now, if it's too much, keep your feet on the floor. If you wanna try challenging this a little bit, bring those legs up. And can you feel all of that length through your spine, using your abs for support? We stay for 3, we stay for 2, and then we're done with that on 1. Good, now you're gonna come onto your hands and your knees, and I want you to tuck those toes to the floor, lift your hips back up into that pike position. So stay here, and again, feel all of that length that we've created through your spine. Softly bend your knees, and we're gonna do a little twist. Take your left hand to your right calf. Do a small twist and look underneath your right shoulder. Try to rotate through that mid and upper back, and then come on back to the center. Same thing, other side. Right hand grabs outside your left calf. Look under your left shoulder. You're staying supported by really finding that opposition of the tailbone down through that left palm. Okay, so from here, we're gonna put some things together. Hands to the floor, ripple forward to a full plank. Pike those hips up and back. Let's move into that twist. Reaching left hand outside that right calf. Back into your plank position. feel your opposition, feel your length as you reach your right hand outside your left calf. Okay, so just taking that a couple more times, focusing on increasing that rotation just a little bit more each time. And work on keeping your length, right? So heels and crown of head reach away from each other in the plank. Heels and crown of head reach away from each other in this pike. We'll go last time. And then to finish up here, you're gonna walk those hands and your feet in towards each other. Find a soft bend through those knees. You're gonna keep that head heavy as you roll yourself up to vertical. I want you to, again, take those hands at the nape of the neck, wrap those elbows forward. We're gonna lift and lower those heels up and down 3 more times, giving yourself that long length, and see if you've created even a little bit more length through moving. Now the next time that those heels are lifted, we're gonna hold them up and try a squat here. So hips back, chest forward, and then push into the heels, come all the way up. And we'll repeat that 3 more times. Challenging to keep those heels lifted. If it's too spicy, they can always come down. Now we're gonna lift and hold at the top of this next one. One more time, we'll try that roll down. Whoop. So from there, feel all that length. Bring that chin toward the chest. Reach the hands to the floor. And then can you have that lift, right? That scooping up feeling as your hands reach to the floor. See if you have a little more control than you did when we first started. And this is for me, can that head be a little heavier? And if your hands touch the floor, well, good, that's where we're going. You're gonna keep your hands there, bend your knees. You can grab for opposite elbows and sway your chest from side to side. And then just notice if you're holding on to anything in your neck. Just shake it yes and no a few times. Slowly releasing those hands, you're gonna roll yourself up to standing, stacking bone by bone, letting that head be the last thing to lift, and then feel all the length that you've created already, right? So the heels down, the head up, and you've got that opposition going. My goal for you is that you feel taller, you feel longer than you did when we first started. So take some of those oppositional cues and images with you for your next little bit of movement in class, either with me or out in your life. Thanks for joining me for this Thought of the Week, and I'll see you all for the next one.